Hello YouTube, this is Chess here on Stay My PKs. Welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to continue where we left off in the last tutorial. As you remember, in the last tutorial, we were creating layers and checking on device properties. We were able to print the name of our graphics card, our device ID, vendor ID, and so on. In this tutorial, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the fine physical features, device features of your graphical processing unit or your GPU. And the way we do this, as you can see, I have the Vulkan programming guide open. And in this section here, in this page 36, he's talking about how to get the physical device features and what are they. And as you can see, I have it open here. There's a lot of them here. There's a lot of device features that are it's a boolean, so it's going to give you a yes or a no through a 1 or a 0. But as you can see, you have texelation, you have depth bounds, and more importantly here, some of the new sparse binding and sparse residency. And if you don't know what that means, this is very important, especially when you're doing cross platforms. And it shows you here what they are, the difference between sparse binding, sparse residency, and so on. I don't want to get into that. In other tutorials, we're going to probably touch on it. But for now, I just want to show you how to get the device features and how you can sometimes set up flags in order to get them if you don't have them. Not all graphic cards support all of them, so some of them will not be supported, and I will show you that in this tutorial. So for now, let's just show you what I have here for the code. As you can see here, we're including the standard IO stream because I'm using cout. Checking our results. We have that from the last tutorial. Instance being created globally outside of your main. Here you void my device properties, and I'll get back to that one. Let's first go and see here what's going on, and then we'll go back to that function. B Vulkan application info. Nothing changes here. Basically, uh, same that we've done in past tutorials. The create info, the app info. Here we're creating result in which it does creates the create info instance, and then the instance, which is that one there. It checks to make sure that everything is fine. It's checking results after every activity to make sure that we're not throwing any errors. It's an unsigned integer. 32 amount of physical devices is going to give you an integer. So it's either going to be a whatever amount of physical devices that it finds. The result is the enumerate. We did a whole tutorial on this. We first have to enumerate them. And then let's go down here. We're checking the result again. Here we're creating the Vulkan physical device with a pointer to physical devices. And here we're creating a new physical device, which we're tying together this guy right here. And we'll continue. Enumerate physical devices again, because here it was null, and this is the only difference here between that guy and that guy. We gotta do enumerate twice, so you could do the null, and now it's physical devices. But physical devices in this case is gonna get us this guy. So this is the same loop that we did. It's got to check to find out how many physical devices we have connected. So this is what your entry point, your main function, very similar to the last tutorial, but this is the one function that is doing most of the work. Here is create my device properties because I want to find out what my device, my GPU properties are. It's a Vulkan device and it's the reference of the pointer. And here, Vulkan device properties, creating properties. Vulkan get physical device properties, so the thing is getting these properties right here and the device. Vulkan physical device features, this is the main point of today's tutorial here, and I am calling it my device features. So here's the reference to it, and then Vulkan get physical device features. You see the difference here? This one is Vulkan get physical device properties. This one is Vulkan get physical device features. And here I'm printing them out, and I want to make this one my device features, and in this case I'm looking for sparse binding. I want to know whether my graphics card support sparse binding or not. And like I said, if you want to know a little bit about sparse binding, there it is. It's the difference between sparse binding and sparse residency, or you can go into the specs from Lunar G. They do a pretty good job also explaining. So this is basically what's going on. So let's close it and then run it, clear. And the actually, let me show you the CMake, just in case you don't have one. Oops. And learn how to spell first. And there it is. The same one from before, but I'm still using the properties. I was too lazy to change it. I'm calling the new. I just put this one here. That's the only difference from last time. So it's gonna look for that one to execute. So we do clear CMake and then make, and now let's run it. Properties, and there it is. It tells me my GPU device name is Quadro K620. Does my device support uh, sparse binding? Tell me 1 for yes, 0 for no. It gave me a 1. That means it supports sparse binding. Okay, so now let's pick from the list here to see other things, whether it supports or not. So for that, let's change it. Let's go back to our program, and now instead of sparse binding that we know it supports it, let's get something that I know that it does not support. And I'm going to show actually let's do this one. Sparse, let's do 2D. Sparse residency image 2D. Copy. Go here and change it from sparse binding and make it sparse residency image 2D. Control X. And as you can see, it has a 1 there. Now I know I don't have it supported, so it's going to give me a 0. So let's run it again. CMake, make, and now run it. And there it is. Does my device support sparse binding? Sparse presidency buffer. I should have changed that. And it tells me no, it does not. And this is where the flags come handy. And I'm going to show you, maybe another tutorial will play with these more, because as you can see here, it says there are certain flags here, like right now I have it at 0, but if you read here, you can actually change the flags. And that's something that we probably will do in another tutorial. This tutorial I don't want to make them too long. And then you can change the flags, and you can make things actually whether it has your graphics card has to support it. If your graphics card does not support it, doesn't matter whether you change the flag or not, it's not going to support it. So, but if your graphics card supports it, you can change the flag right here and make it support it. But that's something that we'll probably do in another tutorial. But for this tutorial, this is the end of this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, please click the like box, subscribe to my channel, follow me on GitHub, and I will see you next time with another tutorial. Take care.